Africa is no different to me than Central America, South America, Europe. I go where I feel like God has called me. I've worked in all those areas. And right now, He has called me to Africa. I have, therefore, have the sense that that's where I'm supposed to be.
I mean, a greater love for the people there, understanding of why my husband has gone so many years, and God's work there, and that's exciting to have just a little part of that.
Their while their while their religion on the surface is Islam, their underlying religion is traditional African religions that believe in spirits. They believe that there are spirits in plants and rocks, and they're very fearful. They they all wear amulets. These are charms that they wear that's put on a child immediately when it's born to ward off the evil spirits. So to address those issues where they're always in fear, nothing happens naturally. To them, everything happens because it has some spiritual cause. They exist with witch doctors who can cast spells on people. And quite honestly, you would not believe that living in our culture, but that is true. That does happen. And so to go over there and give them a hope, to give them an alternative to that, to give them a belief that's based on faith and not by works. Those are the things that drive me to go over there and to see a very needy people. We can never address all the needs that they have. We go there with medical missions. We give them the medicines that we can. There will be people that still need medicine when we leave. But we can help them for a period of time. But that opens doors to the spiritual aspect of their life. And so that's those are the underlying causes that take us there. And then they begin to ask questions. And so then we can get into a spiritual conversation with them.
My part on the mission trip was prayer, and so we did eyeglass clinics. The people would come in, they would hear stories of Isa, which is Jesus in their language. Then they would mark after they had their eye test and fitted for glasses if we could fit them. They had the option of being prayed for, and so that is what I did. I had an interpreter, and it was really special to be able to pray for the people because they're not used to a personal relationship with God. It's all about a form of religion. And I would always, in my prayer, point them to Isa. Make sure that I talked about having their eyes to be able to see Him for who He is.
I have so many good friends now in Africa. I have people that just want to go out of their way to help you. I think about a man named Ahmet, who my African name is, part of my African name comes from his name. In Africa, when they accept you, then they give you a name, an African name. And Ahmet helps me get into the country. Ahmet helps me on the 13-hour journey it takes to get across to the villages that we serve. I think about another man that lives in a village on the plains that I've become very good friends with that came to see me. This man had a dream 30 years ago that a white man from America would come to bring him a message. He told me, I've never met a white man. I never shook his hand before, so you have a message for me. And so he'd been waiting 30 years, as I said. And so I took the message to his village, the only message that I knew. It was a film. It's called the Jesus Film. And I showed him that. And so I think about the many women that help us in the clinic. I think about the chief of the village. I think about Mama Jane and Papa Jane, in whose compound they allow me to put my tent, and they feed me and they take care of me. And I think about Abdu, my interpreter, and I think about Seydou Ba, and I think about Abdul Rahman Khan, who lives in a very dangerous country but risked his life to come over and help service. So I just got a lot of bonds. So many stories over the 10 years and the 20 trips that I've taken. It's very difficult to pick out one. I'll start with one of the saddest. It was a young girl that they bring to the clinic. She is 9 months old, but she only weighs 4 pounds. She is what you call a throwaway child. Many children are born unwanted, and so this was a throwaway child. We tried to help her as best we could. She ended up dying 2 days after she came to the clinic. We gathered around to pray for her, and and some of the people of our team were crying. This is something that's very foreign to them. They do not show emotion. That's part of their upbringing. And so when they see us actually caring for an individual, it gets them wondering, why would you do that? And why would you care about an individual? Their religion does not care about individuals. And so that's a memory that sticks out in my mind. In mission work, you have options. You have the call of the Great Commission, which was go to preach the gospel in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth. So Jerusalem basically is your city, where you live. You can tell people, there are people here literally in Hot Springs that have never heard the name Jesus. So mission work can start right in your own backyard. Mission work can start in your neighborhood. Mission work can then extend to other areas of the state where there are needs, that people see Jesus through you and what you do. Not necessarily what you say, but what you do.
And when he calls you, he equips and enables you, and it's exciting to be a part of his work.